Hello, this is Daniel Alsop, a creator of Thomas and Friends Alsop Productions.
Hi guys, I'm Alexander Seib. I'm the narrator, voice actor, script editor, and I serve as Dan's right-hand man on Alsop Productions.
And today, we're going to do our first ever commentary on one of our episodes. And on this case, we're going to be doing the Season 9 premiere episodes, The Great Storm of Sodor, Parts 1 and 2.
Now, this one actually is very interesting because this actually takes place after the events of Treasure of Captain Callers. And this is also the first time Welltank Records actually does the music for us. Which
Now,
I'm seriously hoping of kicking off the team after that little stunt he pulled.
maybe best not mention that on the commentary. Anyway, how he got involved, well, I was working on an intro for the new season, and then when he sent me his music samples, I found a very perfect intro for it. So that's how it came to be ever since. And plus, it saved me having a few copyright issues with certain music pieces over the last few years, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Which I'm quite thankful for.
Now, of course, as we know, we're at Miss Sheds, which is usually the setting for most of these Thomas and Friends stories.
And the Steam Team's actual home. But in this case, this series has taken a different approach compared to the Big World series.
Yeah, because Edward is still present.
And Henry too.
That too.
But in this case, Nia and Edward... Nia and Rebecca are coming in later in the episode, but they're taking a different approach. Because Mattel have really rushed things to meet their demands, in my opinion.
Yeah. And of course, this is James, voiced by you. And if I'm not mistaken, you are using your new Snowball microphone.
Yep. This was actually, I got it for my birthday about a year ago. And it was actually the very first episode I used with it. Although...
Compliments of me, because I was the one who suggested it.
Yes, and thanks to my brother for giving it to me. And it was during but it was sent by post because back then we were in the COVID lockdown. The third one in total.
Yeah, and the release date on the 22nd of February was when I just finished my last rec therapy placement.
Indeed.
Yeah. Anyways, as you know that with Tidmouth Sheds, it's kind of, you can see that it's kind of getting a bit degraded. Like, it's literally almost survived everything, minus nuclear blast. Like, it's nearly gotten demolished by Cyril Sneer and his team.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that, like, termites haven't chewed at the woodwork.
Yes, indeed. Now, even though this shed in this series, the shed might have lasted about nearly 10 years now. About 10 years, I mean, when it got rebuilt in late 2012. In the episode Lights, Camera, Crash.
Yeah.
If any... So you could say they kind of lasted that very long, but haven't been updated for a long time. And surprise, here's Alfred.
Yes.
Voiced by our very own Andrew Ligo.
Yeah. And the music that you're hearing in the background is actually a rendition of Funeral of a Marionette.
Yes.
Which many people associate with when they think of Alfred Hitchcock.
Yes. That is a very good point, but I am still very impressed with how Ethan did his very own theme.
Yeah, and here's the Bat Controller, voiced by me.
Yeah.
Treasure of Captain Callers. I've basically taken the mantle of being the Bat Controller. Both gruff and kind at the same time.
Yes, and that's what the Fat Controller was meant to be. Now, he was voiced by Aaron, but I just felt like I wanted a bit more oomph into it. And a bit of a change, so that's why I gave it to Alexander. ever since he took over for the two-part finale last season.
Yeah. Yeah, I think what's also great about my mantle of the Bat Controller is that I've studied almost all different voice actors who voiced the Bat Controller and kind of forged it into my own interpretation.
Yes, indeed. Oh God. Now the engines are all shot.
Because Tim is shutting down. No!
But we all know what the real reason is, don't we? Oh, and credit goes to Sam for giving me the story idea for this episode.
Sam Lindsay, yep. And everyone's panicking because, like, where the hell are we gonna live?
But they shouldn't worry because the sheds are only going to be updated, but it means they'll have to find temporary homes.
And you already know where this is going already now, do you?
Yes, indeed. I think everybody knows that too.
Yep.
Now, this is Rebecca, voiced by our very own Liz.
Yep.
Now, normally she was voiced by my sister-in-law, Hannah, but when she was pregnant with James, I decided to give her a bit of a rest until James was born. So that's why I got Liz to help out. So I got Liz to help out ever since.
Yeah, and the Bat Controller's telling James, come on, get up. Because the workmen have work to do.
Yeah, but not just that. He's giving him a warning to make sure he will learn his lesson before he let him out.
Yeah, and ever since James' son and Treasure Cat Callers, a lot of people have literally crucified James a lot because of his antics.
Well, mostly TWR Modeler. God damn, those comments he pulled in that special really get on my nerves.
I know. And I know that everyone's entitled to their opinion, but James is one of the main characters in Thomas and Friends. You can't get rid of him.
I know. Oh yeah. Now this is where the engines meant to find their new temporary homes while the sheds are shut down for a while. Now, like in season 21 and 22, Edwin and Henry have both gone to Wellsworth and Vickerstown, but not like in those TV series episodes.
Yeah, and Henry's actually going to the goods yard with Emily and Gordon.
At Knapford Sheds with Murdoch and Neville.
Yep. Yep. Eric and Rebecca, of course, which will be changed to Lila later in the season.
Yeah. Now, I thought that I would have put them at Farquhar with Toby, but I thought since the four of them are going to be working together, I thought they might stay together as a group for the night. Because we're meant to be working together at Morgan's Mine the following day, so why not?
And here's Dudley, voiced by my good friend from New Jersey, Thomas Hathaway.
Yep, and thank you for a recommendation on him. He's been great ever since the Captain Cabba special.
Yeah, and he's been on fire promoting you.
Yes, and I thank him for it too.
Yeah, and for those who are not initiated in the Alsop verse, Dudley, the character, is actually based off of Jerry Trainer's character, Dudley Puppy, from the Butch Hartman cartoon Tough Puppy, just FYI.
Yes, indeed.
And also, kind of the chassis, of course, is very similar to Packer.
Yeah, well, but because I'm struggling with Packer's character, and I haven't got many models at the time when Dudley was being created, I had to reuse the same model. And plus, people seem to like Dudley more than Packer these days.
Well, I guess it makes sense. I mean, in Tugs, they kind of did the exact same thing with Zero. They used his body for Blue Nose.
Yeah, that is quite true. Now, in Dudley's case, Nathan introduced the character, but after he got sacked for all the trouble he put me through, it gave me a chance to alter Dudley's character a bit more in season 6. To make him a bit more excitable, energetic, and more idiotic. More than you can say. So you could say it's more like a Pinkie Pie of Sodor. Well, partly.
Yeah. Finn, voiced by Welltank Engine 90, Blue Engine 99, aka EFN, aka Nick London too. Seriously, this guy has more Nick.
Yes, yes.
And,
but you can't fault that. He felt like it was time for a change a couple of times, so why not? Anyway, he's been great at voicing Gordon, Henry, Oliver, Donald, Douglas, Bill, Ben, and many other cast. And a few more if I've missed out any. So, top notch for him. Also, good work.
Oh no, he forgot to tell James to activate the transmitter!
No, he was meant to warn James because of the possibility of storm coming.
Oh no.
So James went ahead.
And there's Brian and Dylan, played by Alsop TV, aka Liam Fullerton, one of our closest amigos, and whom I trust with my life.
And yes, and a supportive of series and episode writer as well.
Yes, that too.
And I praise him for that. Anyway, this is actually the start of James's the next step of James's downfall.
Yeah. But don't worry, folks. He will get redeemed. He will redeem himself near the end of season 9.
Yes. It's only until the end of the season, so hang in there. Anyway, because James was still angry at Alfred, thinking it was his fault he's in that mess, he decided to get revenge by telling lies about Alfred.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I already know that this is going to backfire and bite James in the bunker.
It certainly will. But before anyone says, the Fat Controller didn't know anything about his stunts during the season, but he's not going to find out about it until the season finale either. Because I kind of altered that recently to make sure he gave him a stern pressing down after he finds out about it.
Yeah, and, for those who want to get rid of James, knock it off.
Yes.
James is a permanent member of the Steam team, and if you don't like it, you can unsubscribe to Alsop Productions and get on with your normal life.
Yes. Or in other words, don't watch the James episodes. Simple as that. Anyway, if you have any idea what we want about the watch topic, the inspiration for that was actually from that Top Gear episodes in the UK where Richard Hammond, if you heard of him, got stuck on the Canadian mountains and James May and Jeremy Clarkson dawdled to come to his rescue when the watch was meant to be activating the signal for 24 hours. So in this case, Gordon and Henry are like Jeremy and James on this one. Yeah, that's one of my favourite episodes, and I couldn't stop.
I was trying hard not to laugh when recording because it was just so funny.
Yeah, I know. That's why it's one of my favourite episodes of all time. And I brought this into the episode. If you're wondering about the going back to work bit, that's reference to, excuse me, can we see the pudding menu? That was one of their delays. Now, I was going to expand on that, but I ran out of time.
Yeah.
Anyway, now we're on to the Great Waterton Yard scenes with Thomas, Eric, Percy, and Rebecca.
Yeah, and I'm voicing Eric in this series as well, because since Chris Alsop, Dan's brother, wasn't available, so...
I can explain that. Well, at the time of doing this episode a year ago, we were all still in lockdown, and I hadn't been able to get my brother's lines for Eric. And so I got Alexander to help me out temporarily. And that was also when it was one of the longest ones too. But I thank you for that, for helping out on short notice.
No problem. I just had a bit of a stroke of inspiration last night when I was thinking of other original characters to add to season 10 or 11 in the future.
I've got something to reveal about Series 11, but I'm going to wait for that until the 200th episode. But don't worry, it's all looking good.
Yep.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyways. We're also, one of the things that they're doing right now is that they're planning on delivering loads.
To the new Tidmouth sheds.
Yeah, to the sheds. For, construction.
Yes. But at the same time, they were talking about Morgan's mine. As he noted in The Great Discovery, Thomas went down that mine looking for that runaway truck of bricks, which he only went down one direction.
And there's Diesel 10, voiced by me.
Yeah, and he was talking about his next plan. He overheard that there's gold in the mine. Now, originally I was going to extend that scene with Diesel 10 making traps inside the mine, similar to that Raccoons episode. I think it was called Trapped, I think it was. I can't remember. No, it was the one afterwards.
Well, you have to be a bit more specific, because there was a lot of episodes. Like, are you talking to the one where Bentley's going to find the treasure?
No, I was talking about traps. I was talking about one where we had to go through Cyril's traps to get to the bank vault to rescue Ralph and Cedric. That one. But I ran out of time on that. Anyway, now we're on back to the Alfred side story. And that's when Dylan about to hear some shocking news.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Now, if for those who criticised about Alfred being the shunting engine, that was meant to be his punishment. And plus, because bigger engines shunt more than tank engines, it looks good for him to stay over there until more engines can come along. And that's why this season is about to build on that.
Yeah, and plus it'll also kind of shut up some of the Gordon, Henry, and James purists who say that tender engines don't shunt.
Yes. I'll have to include that sometime. Oh dear, and this is where they're about to got overreacting towards the news, or so they thought.
Yeah, and you already know where this is going.
Yeah, they all blamed Alfred for it.
And of course, with Alfred finally arriving and trying to make friends, you already know that Ryan and Dylan, being the naive tank engines that they are sometimes, they actually believe almost everything they hear.
Yeah, but
every word of mouth they think is true.
yeah, and because Alfred had enough, he bumped the trucks and caused a big wreckage. Now, I apologise for the bad quality footage of that time. I had a hard time trying to derail the trucks when filming because they wouldn't shot right up straight away. So I had to improvise with green screen for dust.
Yeah, I'm almost expecting like one of the trucks when they're going up in the air, they're like, whee!
That would have been a plot twist.
I can fly!
Or better yet, I believe I can fly. Ow. Similar to the Ice Age one. Anyway, now we're up to the bit where the new Tidmouth sheds were upgraded. Yes, well, I know it's not 3 extra berths, but I had to make do with what I got. Blame COVID for that too, so bear with me on that. And surprisingly, no one knew where James was.
Which was a massive relief for everyone, especially for those who've been complaining about James's antics.
Yes, I was meaning the entrance actually. I take it it's because they were sleeping in different spots over the past few weeks.
So, have your conversation. Right.
Anyway, now we're about to meet a new version of Nia and Rebecca's introduction.
Now that's more like it.
This is what Mattel should have done, just like they did on Fireman Sam. And yes, I am aware of this episode was inspired by that too. But I felt like it would have worked better in this one too. Anyway, I did a different take on Nia's character. If you remember the anniversary video a year before, during 2020, after the events of that video, Thomas went on a world tour, an anniversary world tour, to celebrate his 75th anniversary. And that's when he encountered Nia, and then they go on the Big World, Big Adventures plot style adventure until Thomas gets off home. So they kind of travelled together until they got back to Africa for Thomas to go home. Which is exactly what. So it's the same as the film, but different take.
Yeah. And of course, Yellen Zhao does a great job of voicing. Yeah.
Yes, indeed he does. And I applaud, and I gave her applause for that. Anyway, can't contain this excitement. Well, that's Thomas for you.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's also a bit of a reason how the Fat Controller got Nia in the first place too. Which will also explain about her shed problem too.
Yeah, and you may not know this, but my dad actually did get a chance to go to Africa once.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was visiting a friend of his named Elmer Rifle. He works as a missionary up in Sierra Leone.
Ah, right. Oh, before we now up to Rebecca's introduction, and just like in the series, he's about to knock the Fat Controller over, but with steam, just like in Confusion Without Delay. Oh dear.
Oh no! Oh no!
Just like in the episode.
I'm almost expecting the Fat Controller to almost have a heart attack, like.
Yeah, I know.
And then all that's missing is like him having an angel outfit with an arm.
That would have been a plot twist.
And then suddenly, the Fat Controller literally pulls his soul back and he's like, oh no, you're not getting away back!
Yes, Percy, you got to Rebecca's now. For now, at least. Now, I cannot make Rebecca a bit different. I made her become one of the newer steam engines built, similar to Tornado.
Which makes sense. I actually have a magazine about that.
Okay. Anyway, that's why I've made Rebecca to be one of the newer steam engines. Because like Tornado, someone found her designs in a skip.
Mm-hmm. And judging by her design, she's for a Battle of Britain class.
Yeah, you could say that. Anyway, we're now up to the second bit of Alfred's misery.
Yep. That he is.
Yep. And Emo Gorn didn't want to give him Emo Gorn still wouldn't want to give him a chance, but that's going to be revealed later in the show. Believe me, it will get sorted out. Because we gotta focus on him and James first. That's a big topic.
Yes. Which we're gonna get to.
Yep. Now Alfred has taken James's spot, and for the new sheds, I'm doing it like a engine's taking their permanent spaces, just like on series 20 to 24. So the layout will look like that from now on, from Emily to Rebecca, if you go from right to left. So I intend to do that for the series for the foreseeable future.
Yep.
It may look different from time to time, but only when others have gone to sleep somewhere else, with extra work or whatever.
Yeah. Kind of like maybe you could actually have like some of the spare earths in the shed be kind of like guests.
Yeah, for the moment, the extra berth, which you'll see in part 2, it's going to be used for a guest berth for the time being, for like visitors and such.
Alright.
but we're still waiting for another permanent character for Season 10 to come up. And yes, we are aware about Wyatt. But I haven't found his engine yet, but we'll see about that.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're getting a chance to get to know some of the new characters, and that is good world building in my opinion.
Yes, including in this one too. Now Emily has spotted swallows in the sky, and that means it's a sign of that Finn was right. A storm is on the way.
Yeah, either that or the weather bureau.
Yeah. Oh god. Now we're up to the bit where Gordon and Henry realise they've forgotten about James. I know. Well, that's what it comes from, all the skiving about. And dawdling too. What idiotic engines.
You know, supposed to be smart, you guys are so dumb.
Yeah, no kidding. Anyway, they decided to go to Vickerstown, but they went to do the rescue in the morning. In other words, good night's rest, get rid of the jet lag, so they'll be ready for the big rescue mission.
Yeah.
Or should I say the rescue epidemic. Yeah, and this is where we left off. James grumbling about the cold, and the storm is coming in. What else could possibly happen?
Yeah, and then there's the classic to be continued.
Yeah, now, that was actually a green screen that. I felt like it's time for a bit of a change.
Yeah.
Instead of you testing it all the time, it helps save time on that too.
Alright, now on to part 2. And, you know, before we kind of go into part 2, I actually kind of thought of a great idea for Aliens Have Landed, is like maybe if you decide to make both part 1 and part 2 kind of like a full film.
Well,
You know, like,
I'm thinking of doing that once I finish the season. I'm planning to do the same for all 4 specials actually, but we'll see. Anyway, enter part 2.